The Joe Rogan Experience.
You know.
What do you think of that? How do you say his name? Ray LaMontagne? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, he's like a songwriter.
Yeah. Do you know that song, Jolene?
I
You
do.
ever heard that song?
Yeah, he's got a really cool voice, man.
Damn.
My buddy Dan did a record with him, and I've never met him, but no, he's I think a really cool vibe.
Dude, his voice is insane.
And I think he's kind of like, he was sort of, if I'm not mistaken, I want to be like, well, sort of like came into it later like I did. He had like jobs and shit before and then just started doing it. And
that makes sense.
Found success later on.
I think that makes sense with a lot of people, man. Yeah. I just think people like Justin Bieber, like, he's got a way harder road. It's a way harder road to try to figure out who the fuck you are.
Like, all things considered, he's probably handling it okay.
He's handling it phenomenally.
You think about, he was what, fucking 8? Or,
he's only 24.
He's 24 years old.
He's 24 right
Holy
now.
Holy shit.
He just
and
turned.
all this has already happened.
Just turned 24.
And he's rolling around on a G7. That's his day-to-day, you know.
He does whatever the fuck he wants,
all
dude.
the time. But yeah, you know, you don't pay attention to things. I'm not glued into pop culture, but somehow, like, you just can't not know what Justin Bieber's up to once a month, just walking around in the world anymore. But I would say that kid, for most people to be handed that type of existence and all of that scrutiny and all the shit that comes along with that, like, that does things to people, you know?
It definitely does.
Especially if your personality's not even formed yet.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Like, I'm so grateful I got into this business at 35.
Yeah.
And not 21. Cause
I was talking to my friend John this weekend about this, and I was saying that it's almost like if you made an epoxy, right? You know, if you have epoxy, you just put a couple ingredients in. Like, there's one thing, and you mix it with another thing, and then it hardens. But if you add some shit in that that's not supposed to be there, and it's fully developed,
right,
you're not going to take that shit out. Like, if you added oil, you threw some oil in the epoxy, like, now you fucked that whole thing up. That's kind of what you're doing to a person when you raise a person famous. If you take some reality star from the time they're 5, and then they're in a sitcom and a movie, and then you've gone through your whole, I don't know why I said reality star, but you've gone through your whole life if you're that person. If you're Justin Bieber, you've gone through your whole life.
Under that eye.
Under the eye, and it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and more people paying attention. Like, you never had a moment like you did where you're working for the railroad tracks.
Right.
Or like, you know, I did going on the road for years, or some of the jobs that I had before I was ever a comedian. They don't have any of those. They don't have the wondering if you could pay your bill feeling. They don't know that feeling. They don't have the,
See, I still feel like that. You know, that's what's fucked up. My wife, I'm just like, I'm still like, I'll never not feel like that, you know?
Yeah.
From never really had money or anything like that, or had any aspirations to own a house or those kind of things. So it's just, I'm, you know, especially with kids now, like, I just don't, there's no flamboyance.
Yeah.
But now he lives a different life where people like Rihanna, they're like literally citizens of the world, and any day of the week they could be in some 5-star hotel and God knows where, you know.
Yeah, God knows where. Yeah, it's a crazy way to live. Very bizarre. Jet setting, flying around.
I couldn't do it, man, because there's no way. I don't ever want to wake up and have that kind of career, because it takes so many people around you on a daily basis just to maintain and keep a machine that large rolling, logistically speaking, that you become enslaved to the job. You know what I mean? Because you have all these. There's always this name, like when you have Superstar X, you know, you put this head right here, and then everything below that, just to make that thing go around. You know, and it just turns into this. It's like a corporation, really, like with 20 semi trucks and all this shit, you know, and you got to go out and make that happen, because now all these people depend on you for their livelihoods and careers, and so then that's going to affect the artistic decisions you make, because you have to stay relevant, culturally speaking. And if you want to do something different next time, well, now this massive fan base isn't really going to fucking deal with that very well. Right. So, you know,
like when Beastie Boys put out Paul's Boutique.
Exactly.
People went, "What the fuck?"
They went, "What the fuck?" But now it's you know,
classic.
One of the most greatest records ever made.
But people back then didn't know what to handle. They didn't know what to do with that. They didn't have the Beastie Boys classified in the artist box.
Right.
They had him in the pop music box. So this is silly. You got to fight for your right to party. We get it.
Yeah.
You guys are partiers. Cool. And then all of a sudden, Paul's Boutique is like, whoa, what is this?
Mm-hmm. Well, you think David Bowie went from Ziggy Stardust to doing a soul album in like 9 months with Luther Vandross, and
Yeah, wow.
those are huge,
That's
classic,
right.
amazing records now. But like you realize those guys were playing theaters when all that shit happened.
Whoa.
And he's just like, I'm done with this. I'm gonna go do this now. You literally can't see anymore because I fucking killed it on stage.
Yeah.
That's over. You know.
Do you think Rod Stewart gets enough credit?
I don't actually.
I don't either.
I think especially Man Faces and even those
Yeah.
early solo records, those are some amazing albums. His voice is incredible.
You know what
I love
happened to
Rod
him?
Stewart. What?
The hits.
He got too much pussy.
Do you think I'm
Fried
sexy?
his brain.
If you
Yeah.
want my pie. Once he hit that, everybody's like, check, please.
He's
You
like,
know?
wait, that's all I got to do?
Because remember,
Hey,
like,
wait.
go back to Maggie May, Wake up, Maggie. Like, that song there was something in that song, right? There was a guy trying to figure his life out, hanging out with some chick.
Yeah. No,
How
Rod
did-
Stewart's a badass.
Oh, man.
No question.
What is that song? Is it called Maggie May? Yeah.
Him and Elton John, all those guys, like, that's.
Yeah, he was a
It
beast.
was a different level.
But then he started wearing, like, leopard tight pants and shit.
Because he could. I mean,
he
look
could.
at that shit. It ain't like it's not
Look
working.
at him,
You know
look
what
at
I
him,
mean? Like,
look at him, look at that look.
he actually was I think he almost played professional soccer for Celtic or somebody.
Wow.
He was like a really great soccer player when he was a kid, but he was too small, so he had to.
And he's another one, right? That, like, basically, like, you're never going to see one of those again.
No, I don't think so. You're never going to see a lot of things again, just because there's just nobody that's actually that's not necessarily true. You might see more things now because
That's true, too, right?
I'm
That's true,
getting
too.
ahead of myself. Like for all intents, I shouldn't be here.
Right.
You
It's
know,
true.
It wasn't an industry creation.
Right.
So now, like anything really is possible.